Combate Americas. They announced a complete 11-bout MMA lineup for Friday, October 11th, live on Univision and TUDN from Casino del Sol in Tucson, Arizona, and making his Combate Americas debut from American Top Team right here in Coconut Creek in South Florida. We have Jaime Alvarez. He's featured in a flyweight bout. He's going against Camilo. It's going to be a super event, a super card. Jaime, tell us how you got signed to do this event, to do this show.
Yeah, so Combate contacted me, after I fought on this Titan card in January. I had a great win, a big second round knockout. They contacted me, about wanting me fight on their upcoming show in Tucson, Arizona. And I thought it was a great opportunity for me. It's one of the up-and-coming great organizations coming up now. And it was an honor to fight with them. I signed a 4-fight deal with them, and I'm really excited to put on a great show and hopefully capture their inaugural flyweight title.
And this will be Friday, October 11th. It's going to be a huge show. And you mentioned your fight, the last fight at Titan FC. So basically what happened was that was when you scored a second-round TKO on Jorge Calvo Martin.
Yes.
And that sparked the interest for Combate.
Yes.
They were able to see that and contact you, contact your organization, your people, and step up and go from there?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I think it was fighting on Fight Pass, and it was a big platform with Titan. I had a big win against another Latin superstar in Jorge Calvo, and it kind of like really put me on their radar, and they wanted to bring me in and sign me to a multi-fight deal with them.
What do you think about Combate?
I love it, man. I love all they're doing. Separately from the UFC, there's these other shows that are coming up, and they're going to really start to take the pressure and take all this attention from in MMA in Latin America, and really bring these Latin American fans to love MMA the way they do boxing. And Combate is doing a great job of doing that.
Combate Americas has, you can see it in the US, you can see it on Univision, you can see it on TUDN. It is a Latin-based promotion, and the emphasis is on a lot of the Spanish, a lot of the Latin fighters. What do you think that gives, opportunity-wise, for that community?
I think it's great. I think it's great for a lot of young Latin fighters to get a lot of support behind them from their home countries. Yeah, I was born in the U.S., but I do come from Colombian and Cuban descent, so I do have Latin in my blood. That kind of fighting spirit that I've always had growing up. And I'm just really happy to fight for Combate and kind of like really put on a great show for them.
When you're training for a fight like this, and this is a featured flyweight bout, so this is going to be a premier fight on this show, how much do you study your opponent? How much is it about you just continuing to do what you've been doing?
For me, I've always come with the mindset of I like to fight smart. I like to anticipate my opponent's moves. I like to do my best to know what he is well at. But at the same time, I don't go in a fight solely trying to shut down my opponent. I'm going out there to enforce my will, enforce my game, and really focus on making myself a better fighter and going out there and challenging myself. I know I'm fighting a tough guy in Camilo. He's from Tucson, Arizona. I'm just really excited to go out there and put on the best performance thus far.
Is it different that it's a debut for a promotion, or do you just treat it as another step in the journey?
No, absolutely. I do feel an added pressure to that, because this is going to be the first time I'm going to be featured on Combate's card, and I really want to set the tone and set the bar high for myself, for Combate, for that whole flyweight division, letting them know that I'm one of the top guys in the division, and I'm definitely coming for that belt, man. I really am.
And I see here that you're 8-1 overall, and how long have you been training with American Top Team?
Man, I started my whole career with American Top Team. The first time I ever wanted to get into MMA, I just walked into an American Top Team, and I've been here my whole career. I've had huge role models here. I've trained with the best in the world from my first days, and I've definitely been blessed to be a part of this team, and I'm honored and so grateful to be a part of this team.
How long have you been training?
I've been training for about 6-7 years. I dabbled in it when I was in college. I studied business at FIU. Did a little bit of grappling then. And once I graduated college, I decided to put all my eggs in one basket. Here I am.
So to just get your start at the old facility, Down the road
Yes.
in the warehouse?
Yes, yes. Yeah, I'm definitely an old school guy. So I was definitely in the old gym. All those old memories there, all those great guys we've had. Memories for years, man, I swear.
But what was it like then, too? Because now we're at this state-of-the-art facility. It's been a world-class, award-winning gym right here, still in Coconut Creek, still in South Florida, but just a much bigger facility.
Yeah, man, I really can't stress enough. The guy behind the scenes, Dan Lambert, Richie, these are the guys that have made all this possible for myself and so many young fighters here. And I'm so grateful to these guys because without them, I wouldn't be where I'm at. All the guys that brought me up young when I was Roger Crawl and all these guys, these are the guys that made it all possible for me to get where I am today. Without them, I would never be where I'm at. And without this team, I really owe everything to my team. I really do.
Who's working with you now?
For me right now, my head coach is Mike Brown. He's a head coach with a lot of superstars, so I do share that time. But he's definitely the one that has brought me up from early on. He's the one that's developed most of my game, and he's always in my corner. He's always with me traveling. So yeah, man, Mike Brown, he's definitely my number one guy.
Jaime Alvarez is not only American top team in South Florida, but he's a South Florida guy as well. Growing up here in Broward County, you grew up in Sunrise, Florida. What was it like for you growing up? Were you involved in any sports competitions when you were younger?
Yes, I just said it earlier. My father was born in Cuba, so when we were younger, they all wanted me to play baseball. I had two uncles who played pro baseball, so that was really coming up. They wanted me to play baseball, but just really didn't stick for me.
It's either boxing or baseball, right, in Cuba?
Yes. So yeah, I did box as well when I was a little bit younger. Didn't really do it too much. So yeah, baseball was the really go-to for me, and I ended up not doing too well at that, so I started taking up football. I was a great football athlete. Good here in high school. I had a couple college offers out of high school. Decided not to take it. Decided to stay local. Studied at FIU. And yeah, man, I ran track, played soccer, did it all. And after high school, I kind of really itched for that competitive nature. I really always wanted to compete. And then I remember watching The Ultimate Fighter, and I'm like, I could do this, man. And I just signed up. I had a buddy of mine who was training the American Top Team, brought me in. And I've been training ever since.
But when you were younger, you didn't have any taekwondo or karate or wrestling, amateur?
Zero combat history. Did fight a lot growing up. Kind of for whatever reason, I was a smaller guy, so I always had a lot to prove. So yeah, man, whenever it came to bullies, stuff like that. And I always fought a lot growing up, man. We always fought a lot in the backyard. I had two brothers, a lot of friends, so we would always have boxing gloves, and we would just throw them on and box all the time. Always fighting. I've always loved to fight.
How much then do you think that, even some of the negative of being bullied, helped you in what you're doing now?
Huge, man. My fighting is 90% mental. It really is. You have to have the right mindset. You can't have this kind of fear, and you have to be able to control your adrenaline, control your emotions, fight smart. The best fighter does not always win, and I'm aware of that. So it's very important. I use my intelligence when I do fight, but at the same time, there's just fighting spirit that was in me that was, whether it's nature or nurture, that really developed me as a fighter. My dad was a big fighter growing up too, and he grew up in a tough neighborhood, grew up in Carroll City, and he had to fight his way out of a lot of situations, so that translated into me, the way I was raised, and kind of that fighting spirit. So I really bring that in the cage every time I fight. I really do.
Carroll City, good football down there.
Yes,
really good.
One of
Youth
the
and high school football is really good down there. Strong program. Did Dad play sports?
No, man, my dad grew up rough. He really didn't have that opportunity to really play a lot of sports. He had a hard upbringing in a bad neighborhood, so he wasn't able to really play so many sports. He was a little, his own different time. Growing up in Miami in the 80s was tough, so he really didn't play too many sports.
Really a lot going on, riots and just a whole lot of, we're always talking about racial things still, but yeah, I know the 80s was rough down here.
Was tough, yes.
So your dad got to see a fight?
He has. My dad has passed away, so he's been passed away for about 5 years now. So he watched me fight as an amateur. So yeah, he was definitely around then, and I know he's still there. He's still watching me now, So.
What did he think about you getting into the fight and watching?
Man, my dad loved me fighting. He really did. I know, but if he was alive now, he would love to be watching me where I'm at now. But I know he's still with me, So it's definitely one of the driving motivators that I have in my life is really. Making him proud constantly and not letting him down,
You're a graduate of Western High School
Yes.
out in Davie, Florida, home of the Wildcats?
Yes, sir.
Yes, you're a Wildcat. So then what made you decide, okay, I'm not going to go into any sports at FIU. I'm just going to try to get my degree. What were you planning on studying, and did you finish at FIU?
Yes, I did good at FIU, studied business, loved it. My kind of idea at the time was I wanted to graduate college with no student debt. You know, I had bright futures. Staying in Florida was a smart decision. I did have a few college offers, no major schools, a lot of D2 schools, nothing crazy. And I kind of like thought it was best for me. I knew that I was a smaller guy. I fight 125 pounds, I'm 5'8". I really didn't have a future in the NFL or anything like that, so I decided, hey, it was smarter for me, man, to stay here, study hard, get good grades, which I did, studied business, tough degree. And yeah, I mean, I really just wanted to do that. I wanted to stay here, work, you know, and yeah, I mean, graduate college.
How smart is it, too, that you graduated in business, and so much of what you're doing now is business? Because we watch you fight, but there's so many other components behind the scenes.
Yeah, man, you said it perfectly. I tell a lot of young fighters, and I'm blessed to have my business degree as well, because a lot of these young fighters have this fighting mentality of, oh, I'll fight anybody, anytime, anywhere. But at the same time, I tell them, look at this, man, like, you are not in corporate America. You are a professional athlete. You are fighting. It's important that you treat your career as you would if you're trying to climb the corporate ladder, right? You need to make smart moves. Don't fight hurt. You know, build yourself up. You know, get to a place in your career where you can make money and do what you love, right? It's kind of like, would you take a risky investment if you were a banker or if you were a stock trader? Would you? I mean, yeah, high risk is high reward, yes. But at the same time, when you're a young up-and-coming fighter and you don't have that equity in your career, you really can't be taking these risky fights or these risky decisions. You need to be smart, build yourself up, make a name for yourself, and make a career out of this. Really gotta be smart.
You said high risk is high reward, but it's also high risk. It could also be the pitfalls, everything too.
Absolutely, man. MMA is a weird sport. You know, you can be a world champion at 10-0, 11-0. So it's very important that obviously you want to test yourself. You know, as an amateur in the state of Florida, you want to take the tough fights. You know, you really want to test yourself in the gym, training with the best guys at all times. But on fight night, man, when it all comes down to it, you've got to put yourself in a position where you are 100% prepared. This is not a joke. This is your life. This is a business. That's the way I definitely go into this.
Was it an easy decision for you to say, okay, I have my business degree, I got what I wanted, I'm not going to New York City and Wall Street, no. I'm coming to American Top Team and I'm going to give a shot here?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's kind of like I knew at a young age that money didn't necessarily translate into happiness. And for me, it was like I knew I had a gift in athleticism and in fighting in general. I knew I did. And I felt like it was a disservice to myself, to my God-given talent, and what I believed as true happiness into pursuing my passions. And I just knew that. I did. And I have doubled down in this life. I love it. I've fought in the Ultimate Fighter. I fought in the Contender Series. I've done so much in this sport, and these memories can never be taken away from me, man. Like what I've accomplished in this sport, and I still have so much more to accomplish. I want to be a world champion. I want to be ranked, top 10 in the world. I want to be number 1 in the world. You know what I'm saying? So like, that to me is success. Is more than, you can't even put a dollar amount on it for me.
Was there one moment where you looked at that and said, I belong here, I should be doing this?
Man, I kind of knew that at an early age. I knew that as soon as I walked in these gym at American Top Team, like I had natural talent, but I would get beat up by guys that I felt like I was superior than. But I realized that kind of like fighting was so much more technical than I originally believed. And then once I started to learn these different disciplines, I started to realize that now I'm starting to train with the best guys in the world, And I knew right then and there, I could hang with these guys, guys who were my elders. These guys were so much more experienced than me, and I could hold my own against them. And that's when I realized, man, like, I would be crazy to walk away from this sport and to walk away from this because I know what I'm capable of and I know what I can do.
October 11th, Friday, Combate Americas. They're going to be in Tucson, Arizona. Jaime's going to be a featured fight on that card. Jaime, what is your nickname?
No nickname for me. I feel like nicknames are earned. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not gonna call myself the killer or whatever and some crazy stuff.
The Wildcat. You're not gonna be the Wildcat.
No, man, I'm not the Wildcat. You know, I think
not the Golden Panther. I know the Golden Panther's not gonna.
No, definitely not. I think these nicknames are earned. You know what I'm saying? Earned and what you do. And sometimes there's like even a negative connotation to it. You know what I'm saying? Like a joke aspect to it. But no, man, a nickname never stuck for me. You know, I guess my name's unique enough. So I guess there's not many Jamies walking around here. So there's only one.
Well, I'm going to throw one out anyway. Jaime Alvarez, they started at this now. No nickname needed.
Yeah.
Jaime Alvarez. No, that's the nickname, though. No nickname needed, Jaime Alvarez.
Yeah, I do not need a nickname. I really don't. I let my fight.
Well, you can go with that, then. You can go with no nickname needed. I think it would be cool like that. They ring it out to just and in this corner, no nickname needed, Jaime Alvarez! And the crowd goes wild. All right, so what do you enjoy? I know we talked about how you got there, got into it. What do you enjoy much about doing what you're doing?
Man, I love every day. Every day is new, man. The friendships you develop in this gym, this whole journey is it's always constant. You're always preparing for a fight, helping teammates prepare for a fight. So it's kind of like you're always involved in someone's dream, right? Every day is you're building up to it. You know, I have teammates who, you know, some of the best guys in the world. You know, I have even teammates that are fighting for smaller pro titles or stuff like that. So it's kind of like I'm always helping these guys prepare for their world titles. They're helping me prepare for my big fights. You know, so it's always constant. Like it's this constant push. It's this constant, you know, getting better always. You know, so it's like this you're constantly growing, and I really do enjoy the aspect of helping myself, helping others, and being a part of everyone else's success.
Have you got to fight in South Florida?
I have. I fight for
Titan FC,
yeah,
right?
Titan FC. I fought for them. I grew up fighting for Fight Time for promotions early in my career. Yeah, man, the AFC. I won the AFC title down here. So yeah, I fought down here.
What was it like fighting locally? And did family and friends come out to see the fights?
Yeah, man, I had a big following down here in Broward. A lot of friends and family. I do like fighting in enemy territory, though. I do like being an underdog. I do like.
You like being the villain?
Yeah,
you're the villain?
I love people cheering against me, man. I love to prove people wrong. I was always an underdog growing up, you know, a smaller guy. So definitely when you have your friends and family always cheering for you, it's great. I really do appreciate that, but it does have an added element to it that kind of like a little bit of an expectation and a little bit of a stress. You don't want to let these guys down. You want to go out there and you know put on the greatest performance of your life for them.
So you're not telling them beforehand, hey, boo for me, don't cheer for me, okay? Just boo, I don't care. Just
tell me I can't do it. Tell me I can't do it. Like prove you.
All your family and friends in there, boo, yeah.
That really motivates me. It really does. I love being an underdog. I really do.
This is interesting to me. I do a lot of pro wrestling interviews as well. And we see some crossover with the pro wrestling and the MMA back and forth. And now even on Combates, Alberto Del Rio's involved, Sexy Star is involved, Thunder Rosa they just signed. What are your thoughts of that aspect? Would that ever be something you might be interested in doing if you built yourself an MMA and decide, okay, I'm going to try WWE or something like that,
yeah,
like
man.
A Brock Lesnar or Ronda Rousey or something
yeah,
like that?
I do love that. I love that whole aspect of this transformation between MMA and pro wrestling. I think the fans, they really appreciate both aspects of it. And I really do appreciate the way the fans are really, really passionate about it. And yeah, I mean, for me, I would love to do that, to translate into pro wrestling.
Did you watch any growing up?
I did when I was real young. I remember my dad was like a Macho Man fan, so like I remember I grew up with like Stone Cold Steve Austin and stuff like that. But I definitely wasn't a hardcore fan. I had cousins that were like, they knew way more than I did, but I definitely did watch.
Were you guys trying the moves outside and things like that when you were little and all?
Yeah, man, like you learn hard, you learn early, like, man, that shit hurts, you know what I'm saying? So, but it was definitely, we used to always rush around in the grass, so we always had a good time.
All right, so you guys check out Jaime Alvarez. He's going to be fighting Combate Americas. He'll make his debut for Combate Americas. He's already had fights. He's 8-1, and he's going to be fighting a big fight. It's going to be a featured flyweight bout, and he trains right here at American Top Team in South Florida. And you can check out Combate Americas Friday, October 11th, live on Univision and TUDN, and they'll be from Casino del Sol in Tucson, Arizona. So it's always a good event. Combate Americas always puts on a really good show. And now Jaime's going to be a part of that. Jaime, do you have social media or anything for fans, people to check out?
Yeah, I mean, I'm on Instagram, Twitter, everything. Jaime Alvarez _1. I always, post a lot, reach out to people. So yeah, man, follow me on all social media outlets and follow you back.
If you weren't doing MMA though right now, would you be working at a bank or on Wall Street or for one of these financial firms, or that really wasn't, you didn't think about that?
I'm not really sure. I'm definitely more of an outdoorsman. I really am. I do love business. I really do. But
an outdoorsman,
yeah,
in what sense?
I love being outdoors, man. I grew up in the Keys in the summer. I was always outdoors. I would I was more of like a tree climber. You know what I'm saying? Like I was always out. I love to be outdoors. I love to be in the sun. I love to be, things like that. So I mean, obviously, I think I could find passion in corporate life. I could, but I definitely do love the outdoors.
What'd you love about the Keys?
Man, we used to fish all the time, be on jet skis. I grew up in the water, man. Like I'm like a fish. I just love it.
What kind of fishing? And
we always fish for mahi, dolphin. I love lobster season. It's the only big thing for my family, man. We would go out there and we just love it, man. I love it.
I know you're busy. This is your goal. You're entrenched in this. But do you ever get to do any fishing?
Not as much as I would like to, man. I used to go a lot when I was younger with my dad and my uncles. Haven't done it recently, but it's definitely a big passion of mine. I definitely love to do it.
See, this is what's going to happen. You're going to build a big enough name for yourself that you're going to be the MMA fighter doing a fishing show. They could have you on YouTube and social media, and it's Jaime Alvarez, MMA star and fisherman. And we could combine both. There you go. I don't think there's an MMA fighter doing that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm definitely not an amazing fisherman, but I'm your average Joe, and I love to fish. I do love to drink beer on the water, so I'm your average guy, man.
There, the light. See that the light came on, because that's
it's a good sign.
That's like the epiphany is right here with that and all. So, Jaime, thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you so much for having me.